you have not demonstrated with any evidence what you have said, which is that our Western law is based upon Sharia law. That is nonsense. The Afghans didn't run to Saudi Arabia, they ran to the West because Western law is better than Sharia law.
500
It is apparently for 500 years ago we didn't even have a language here. Arrogance and ignorance. Islam, by contrast, just to demonstrate how wrong you are, Islam by contrast has no concept of a nation state. It has no concept, it believes in an Umah and it believes in a caliphate.
My problem with it, and there's a very important part that happens a lot and is mistaken a lot, is your translation is wrong.
Okay, right, so...
When you get it, you can show me all those stupid dumb pictures, but you have no source.
Islamic sources are stupid and dumb, we totally agree. And notice also that all the Muslims in this park pushing Sharia law, they're not running to Sharia law countries.
They're not.
They're staying here. Because Sharia is so great, they want to stay as far away from it as they possibly can. And the reason why is because our codification of law is better than Islamic law. Go on, madam.
There is a Sharia law. They used it actually. It started in Sharia law.
Where?
The Netherlands, UK actually also.
There's Sharia law. You're saying that the governing principle...
Sharia law, so I don't know why you're claiming...
I'm afraid, madam, that you just don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm afraid you don't know what you're talking
So
about.
please tell me, Sharia law in this country, you're saying that our law is based on Sharia law.
Actually,
Can you demonstrate the principles that show that in Saxon law, in fact, let me just ask you a basic question. Do you even know when Saxon law began?
Female genital mutilation.
This is the history. No, it's okay, uncle. This is the history of my people. When did our legal system begin?
Actually, in the middle, in the beginning of the Netherlands.
Now we're talking about England.
No, I'm talking about the Netherlands.
You said England and Netherlands.
I mean Western countries.
That includes England.
Yeah, but the base stuff is most of them are based on the Sharia law. Actually.
Right. Prove it.
Okay.
Jury. Female genital mutilation is...
No, uncle, it's all right. Uncle, it's okay. Let the lady speak. Uncle, let the lady speak. Go on.
Napoleon, I forgot his name. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at names.
It's
the
okay.
guy from France, the Napoleon or something.
Napoleon,
thank you.
right?
My bad at
Okay.
names. When he saw it actually in the Middle East and stuff, he saw it as Sharia law and it interested him.
Okay.
So he took it with him to the Western countries and actually based it upon the rules on the Sharia law.
Okay, can I reply to that?
Of course.
Because what you're saying is ahistorical nonsense.
It's actually
No, hold on one second. The French Revolution happened before Napoleon came to power, and Napoleon established the Republic and the laws of the Republic before he invaded Egypt. He didn't go on some holiday to Egypt or holiday to the Middle East and then bring back Sharia law.
Well,
the Enlightenment idea is an eternal European idea. It is not something that is built on Sharia. I don't know where you've got this myth from, but it is complete myth. It's ahistorical. Then they have lied to you, madam. It's simply a lie.
Well, his facts are straight because Napoleon, when he came to Egypt, and you say
Napoleon.
he doesn't bring...
Napoleon.
Thank you. When he came to Egypt, he took a lot of things with him.
He conquered Egypt.
Yeah, but he at least as well took a lot of ideas.
Yeah, he took a lot of loot.
Every revolution actually took always things with it. So how are you surprised about
Napoleon was arguing. Shall I tell you what? Let me demonstrate that you don't know what you're talking about. Napoleon argued for the idea of a nation state. This contradicts entirely. You see, she's not even listening. She's not even listening. She wanted to have a conversation, she's not even listening.
I'm listening.
Right, so Napoleon wanted to establish the idea of a constitutional nation state in which citizens reduced their religion to the private sphere and then behaved according to secular law in the public sphere. That was the principles of the Republic. Islam, by contrast, just to demonstrate how wrong you are, Islam, by contrast, has no concept of a nation state. It has no concept. It believes in an ummah and it believes in a caliphate. So how do you say that the idea of a secular republic is something that was borrowed from the Islamic world?
Do you know what the word Ummah means, sir?
Yeah, it means people.
To how people?
People defined by their religious identity.
Not only that.
Yeah.
Ummah also means a group that is well put together and is here for each other.
Brilliant. Okay. And how does that demonstrate that the idea of a secular republic is antithetical to the idea of a caliphate?
You're actually...
Is Shia Ummah or Muslim?
Well, it's a question. Which kind of ummah are we talking about first?
Which kind of
Are we talking about
ummah
Shia
you are
ummah or
talking?
Sunni ummah?
Or Wahhabi Ummah or Marzai Ummah?
Sunni ummah.
What kind of Ummah you are talking about?
Let the ladies, yeah. Let the lady speak. Let the lady speak. Go on. Napoleon. Yeah.
Sorry,
It's okay. Don't worry.
he
Don't worry.
wanted a nation as well with the principles of an ummah.
Right. No. He wants. So, but what you failed to do is to demonstrate how those ideas came from the Islamic world, because that's your thesis. That's your argument.
He had it from Egypt.
No, but he didn't get that from Egypt, because what Islam teaches and what the Republicans of the French Revolution, taught was the idea that religion should be private and should not dominate the state. Now, Islam, by contrast, says that Sharia law should dominate the state. Now, you have heard a rhetoric from a lecturer, and they have lied to you and misled you in an ahistorical fashion. Because, I don't know why they've sought to do that. They're either ignorant themselves or they're misinformed themselves. But I'm telling you, you're factually wrong.
Actually, no. I think you should do your research upon this teacher.
Okay, so your teacher is wrong, and I'll
He's
debate
a
him.
Dutch teacher,
I'll
actually,
debate him.
himself.
I'll debate him. Great.
Even
But one
understanding of
uncle,
Ummah is wrong.
uncle, please,
Understanding of
uncle,
Ummah is wrong.
please, uncle.
Let me hear about it. What do you want to say, sir?
Your understanding about Ummah is wrong.
Explain.
Wrong, because you Muslims are divided in 73 sects.
More.
And Christianity
And
too,
more.
and every
You
religion.
are coming here and telling us that you Muslims are Ummah. Whereas Shias are different, Sunnis are different,
Wahhabis.
are different, Mirzais are different.
Spubs.
Look,
Many.
But what you're saying is true
70
about-
Sayyidi.
What you're
Okay,
saying
let her
is
reply.
true about the 73 and everything, but it's also true with the Christianity and everything.
Oh, no.
Wait,
We
no,
don't say
uncle,
Ummah.
uncle.
We don't call ourselves
Uncle,
Ummah, no.
let her speak.
No, don't misunderstand us.
Uncle, let her speak. Go
I
on.
mean, in all the religions, there's around 70 or more differences. That's just human. The fact that we
So
want
which
to...
one will be
that
No,
we
let
want
her
to
speak,
be focused
uncle,
on
let
one
her
good-
speak.
We want to be focused on a good thing, that we have an ummah doesn't mean that you can have everyone do or say or listen or, be with what you would like to achieve. That's the imperfection of being
Sister,
human.
may I reply? What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, I just want to return to the point. So firstly, I just want to say as a side note, Islam has more than 73 sects. The prophecy of Muhammad was wrong. He said that the Ummah would divide into 73 sects, but the reality is there's more than 73 sects, and it doesn't matter how you cut it, there's more than 73. So Muhammad just prophesied wrong, full stop. But I want to come back to this idea of our law is based on Sharia law, because this is utter nonsense. Let me just tell you, you should, because the fact is, the Enlightenment philosophers that established the Republican ideology of the First Republic were more inspired by Greco-Roman paganism than they were by anything else. They were even more inspired by Greco-Roman paganism than they were by Christianity. They were actually an anti-Christian movement. That's what the Enlightenment was, a reaction to Christianity. In this country, because you also said this country as well, which is why I knew I was wrong.
Where Napoleon has
This is utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. So for example, let's take the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire, which was something that was conquered by Napoleon in his fight against Prussia, the Holy Roman Empire was based upon a vision, a communion of two things. Well, three things. Greek philosophy, Roman law, Christian theology. And the principles of a Christian state are very different from an Islamic state. So, and I'll give you an example of what I mean by that. So within a Christian state, the institution of the church and the institution of the state sit separately. They work together. They're meant to work together. And they're both meant to be filled with Christians. But in Islam, there is firstly no idea of a church-state separation. You believe that they're one and the same thing. In the Christian faith, we believe that our faith should be lived out publicly. But the Republicans of the Enlightenment believe that faith should be relegated to something private and individual. The church believes in collectivism. The Republican ideology believed in individual rationalism. Now, demonstrate to me that they got that idea of the individual rational being who precludes faith to the private sphere from Islam. Show me in Islam where that idea comes from, because I'm telling you it doesn't come from Islam. It comes from in the Enlightenment philosophers. You could just accept you're wrong, that your lecturer misled you.
I'm very sure actually he's not wrong, because I know his facts.
So what evidence did he give you? What evidence did he give you?
Well, especially in the Netherlands, are based upon rules.
So, I mean, there's obviously some message probably knocking me at this point that's just been passed. Yeah. There's probably some insulting message that's just been passed between them.
Don't assume.
Yeah, I am assuming. What did it say? What did it say? What does it say? The jury is taken from the law of Islam. Jury.
Yeah.
Right, you see, that's, can I just...
The jury, Plato in the Republic talks about the 10 men of the jury.
Pagans had before Islam... No, bro, I'm sorry.
Have you read Plato?
Sorry.
Have you read Plato? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, I could tell. Because if you Plato in the Republic talks about the judge, and he talks about the judge hopefully being a philosopher and having 10 men. He describes 10 men of philosophical training as a jury that would then come with a decision. This is in the Republic.
This is before even our Lord was born. This is before Jesus Christ.
This is nonsense.
So can we just say to you, the reason why Muslims like yourself are trying to claim the heritage that doesn't belong to you and are trying to claim every good idea as being an Islamic one is based on three things. Two principal things. Ignorance combined with arrogance. You just stated because he showed you a little text message.
I have not even
let me finish. You just said that the jury came from Islam. That is a lie.
I have not said anything.
That is a lie. Do you agree with it?
Listen,
Do you agree with
I
it?
have not said anything about it. No, you should not assume.
Do you agree with it? I'm asking you.
Maybe not.
Maybe I'm asking you. Do you agree with it?
I'm not
Can I just quickly point out? Can I just quickly point out that Plato calls this the Council of 10?
Yeah, thank you. Let us speak. Go on.
Is it nonsense?
Islam is definitely not based on arrogance. Definitely not based on...
Yeah, it is.
No, it definitely
Yeah, it is.
It's actually the most opposite of it at all.
So why?
Ignorant is how you actually... And we should have respected all people from religion.
That's not what your Quran says.
It does.
That's not what your Quran says.
What type of Quran do you have?
The Quran, an Islamic
it was
Quran.
the same one.
Yeah. So the reality is,
Then you've translated it wrong. How is it in the same Quran?
It's always better if we have a
Muslim translator, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's produced. It's by Muslims. Look,
It's
translated by Abdullah Yusuf Ali.
Yeah, but that's not the translator I use.
Well, which
He's
translation
not a
do you
Christian.
use?
He's not. Abdullah Yusuf Ali is
Yeah,
not a Christian
he's not.
man.
In this
but it doesn't matter.
this
You
translation,
can see I've translated
in this
the Quran.
translation, it calls Christians the
He's a
worst of
Muslim
creatures.
No, and that's not how we interpret it.
So when you,
Nothing to
that's what it
Quran.
says.
Listen,
That's what
can
it
I
says.
finish my sentence?
Yeah.
Sister, I'm a Christian, yeah? I can't tell about Jesus, you understand? I can simply open it. No, now he mentioned that. You say that Quran, show him in your Quran.
I'm not
You can't
English law is based
But
on Sharia law. That is
Go on.
hilarious.
Let the lady
In the
speak. Please
Quran.
let the lady speak. Go on.
Quran and religion in itself is based upon respect. We have to, you can not know, but I definitely am sure that it is.
Yeah, it's not
You
our
have the wrong
experience. It's
interpretation,
not
and
our
I
experience.
I've read the Quran.
Well, experience is different. People are imperfect.
I'm talking about
I've read the Quran
1400 years of experience.
And then you don't live 1400 years to tell me something like
The
that.
church has its history.
Listen, you are so wrong in so many factors. It's literally amazing. Amazing.
We feel sorry
Prove
for
him
you.
to be wrong. Prove him to be wrong.
Okay, right, go on, finish
can
your
I-
point.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Sorry. Go on, let her finish her point.
Why are you here?
I apologise for interrupting
For
you.
what
Please,
reason
go on,
you
finish
are
your
here?
point. Please,
You're allowed to talk,
madam.
yes,
No, why are you
You've
here?
interpreted 10 times.
Madam,
Why are you here?
let her finish her
If you
point.
believe on this,
Yeah, madam,
if you believe
miss,
on this thing,
Okay, if
Miss.
y'all don't shut up, I swear I will go.
miss, finish your point. Go on, let her finish your point.
I don't know what type of interpretation you use, but in the baseline of
Yeah.
every Islamic person, you have to be respecting towards everyone's deen. You do you, I do me.
Finish that
No, let her finish her point. Go on, sorry.
Lakum dinakum waliya deen.
Let her
I
finish her
have
point.
my
me laugh.
religious.
Let her finish her point. Go on.
But verily, verily, I said to you that only Islam will be accepted to you.
Yes,
So
but
that's
it
a
doesn't mean that we
contradiction.
should not respect each other.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not.
By default, it
Even,
does.
let me tell that. Well,
The thing
Okay,
is,
let
we're
me
getting
start-
off the point. I'm trying to come back to the point that we were talking
You-
about in
wait,
terms of
your
Islamic
point
law
was to me-
and
towards
Western
me,
law.
Your point, no. Your point now towards me was one thing.
Yeah.
People who are Muslim are ignorant.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay, what did you say?
No, I said that your statements and the statements that Muslims make when they try to claim even things like juries that even Plato was talking about before Islam are Islamic and we got them from Islam is a statement based on ignorance and arrogance combined.
Ignorance
We call
and
them Ahl
arrogance.
Kitab. Tell him we call them Ahl Kitab. We never call them anything else.
Let's say about jewelry is an immaterial thing we don't care about at the end of the day. First of all, ignorance, and I will tell you, and I'll tell you 10 times, ignorance and arrogance are two things that separate you from deen. The more you are looking towards that and being selfish,
Yeah.
you are not working as a Muslim person. You
Yeah.
are not working correctly. And it's normal to be imperfect, and it doesn't mean that it's good, but it happens a lot. We are all imperfect. This world would have not existed if there was always all imperfect perfect
Okay,
people.
madam, let me reply to what you're saying.
Not yet.
Go
I'm
on,
not
finish your
finished.
point, yeah.
So that's the beginning of it all. This world, this dunya, would have not been here if it was perfect. Would have never been here.
Yeah.
This all has been a test. The more you've been ignorant, we call it having a stone heart. That
Yeah.
means that you're separated from your deen.
Yeah.
The more that you are opening to working to help everyone, even with something called zakat. Do you know what zakat is?
Yeah, it's charity.
Especially
It's a
to
tax.
people who doesn't even have to be.
It's a redistributive
Okay,
tax.
yeah, but why do we have to do so?
It's a because you're commanded to.
Yeah, but why are we commanded to?
Because Allah commands it in His Quran.
uplift the
But are
Muslim.
you
Yeah, but
aware?
why?
One
That's
second.
the
One second. Like if you're gonna bring up zakat, let's just point out that firstly, the first generation of Muslims didn't even know it was a pillar of Islam because you fought an entire civil war on the fact that there were a whole group of Muslim tribes that thought that zakat was just a personal pledge to Muhammad, and that after he died, it was not due to be given to his successor.
How is that possible?
That's a fact.
Muhammad
That's a
sallallahu
fact.
No.
Muslims
Muhammad
didn't even
sallallahu alaihi
agree.
wasallam lived poor.
Muslims
He
did
lived
not
poor.
even
Even when his
agree.
wife died,
The first generation of
2.5%,
Muslims.
sir.
Madam,
was
madam,
getting
madam,
5%
madam,
from booty.
madam, I've
From
tried to
booty,
defend
he
your
was
right to
getting
speak, and I
5%.
apologise for interrupting you because I did do it myself. But let's try and have a calm conversation.
Every
The
booty he
reality
was
is that the first generation of Muslims weren't even sure that zakat was a part of their deen. But I want to go off all these red herrings and get back to the main point, which is that you have made a factually false claim and you have not demonstrated with any evidence what you have said, which is that our Western law is based upon Sharia law. That is nonsense. It is historical nonsense, and it comes from two places: ignorance combined with arrogance. Because you're trying to say that things like this bro showed you a little thing saying the jury system came from Islam. But if anyone reads Plato's writings, we know that the pagans were having juries even before Christianity. Christians have their own system of law. We base it on the Ten Commandments. That's where Christian law begins. Can you show me the Ten Commandments in the Quran?
It's not there.
Okay, let's look at the Ten Commandments in the Quran.
All right, this will be funny.
Can you? Can we start with? Let's go through them one at a time. Do you know the Ten Commandments? I just want to ask you this question. Do you know what the Ten Commandments are?
Yes.
Right. What is the first commandment?
I don't remember by name, but I know what they are and what they are.
Okay. So just roughly, in your own words, what's the first commandment?
Can you just? I was.
Okay. She doesn't know what the Ten Commandments are.
You asked me one thing.
Yeah.
Don't assume.
Okay.
That's the bad.
Okay. Just tell me in your own words what's the first commandment.
I'm not. No. Don't ask me 20 things. I'm now relying on the fact that you
Okay.
said, give me your facts.
So
Let
so
me get
show me in the Quran the Ten Commandments.
1 second.
Bro, have you got? If I give you my Bible, can we pull up the Ten Commandments? Yeah. It's in Exodus chapter 20.
Would it be fairer to ask if she can name, say, 3 of them or something as a starting point?
I've asked her to name the first one.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yep. So we're going to see that the Ten Commandments are not in the Quran.
Everyone knows this.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she's even looking for it.
Exodus 20.
Yeah.
The second book of.
Yeah. All right.
Put it together.
I am not a Roman Catholic, but I love my Roman Catholic brothers and sisters.
I love
Right. Madam, are you ready? So,
Oh, is this Quran?
this is a Quran, yeah.
Let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say Exodus.
Yeah, we're going to see Ten Commandments in the Quran. Because the reason why I say this, madam, the reason why this is an important point, is because when Alfred the Great established Saxon law, the first of his commandments, the first of his laws, were the Ten Commandments. And in every Christian civilization, the Ten Commandments are always the starting point of Christian law. In every Christian society, from Armenia to Ethiopia to the Holy Roman Empire to Catholic Spain, Italy, Greece, the Ten Commandments appear in all of them. You're making the claim that our legal system is based on Sharia law, so please show me the Ten Commandments in the Quran.
No, you can't
Because that's
they're
not
not
the
there.
point I'm making. You said we don't. My answer to you was the Netherlands and like your countries that were
Yeah.
due to the revolution used the Sharia law.
But you can't prove that either.
I am proving to you. Just
Okay.
1 second because I.
So are you saying that we can't find the Ten Commandments in the Quran? Should we put that idea to bed?
I am not focused with that one at all.
Well,
Don't-
no. You said,
you're changing the subject. I
Madam,
am not changing.
Madam,
I'm not
we're
changing it.
talking about your false claim that our Western law is based on Sharia law.
Yeah.
And I am asking you to give me evidence.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Have patience.
Okay,
and we'll get
so
to you.
so and one of the questions that I made was that the Ten Commandments are not in the Quran, but they are in the Bible, and you said they are in the Quran, and
No,
I
I said
said,
not.
well, anyone who watches this on camera will decide.
Yes, you did,
Okay.
'cause that's why
So
you went to find it.
does
Yeah.
does
Okay. Yeah.
Western law says female genital mutilation is a halal thing?
No, of course not.
Does Western law says that
It's not halal in Islam.
Huh?
It's not even halal in Sharia.
it's not
Let's
halal?
not go
It's
there.
it's in it's a halal in Sharia law.
Okay, so
It's halal in Sharia
Uncle,
law.
pull up the proof. Pull up the hadith. Pull up the proof.
In Western,
Pull up the proof.
If it's Christian, it means that they believe that one man.
What about the
one
inheritance?
wife.
Okay. So yeah, this is a perfect example. In Western law, up and still at the moment, I mean, it probably will change because of the atheist progressives, but in Western law currently, across the Western world, monogamy is the standard definition of marriage. Is that Islamic? No, it isn't. Okay, in Western law, the idea that let's think of another example.
The inheritance.
Yeah, in the idea of inheritance, in Western law, men and women can equally inherit from their fathers. Is that an Islamic law?
I am still, if you keep on talking and I kept telling you, just have a second.
Okay, so just to be clear, that's not Islamic either, because women can't inherit as much as men do in
What
Islam.
about What about adoption? What about adoption?
in Western law, while you're finding your thing, I'm just giving examples.
What about
No,
adoption?
she's finding her examples. No, 1 second. 1 second. We're having a nice, calm conversation.
adoption?
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Guys, calm down. Guys, calm down. Sorry, 1 second. Thank you. In Western law, adoption is a thing that is legally permissible. In Islam, adoption doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. Sorry, hold on. You're finding your proofs. Right. Now we talked about. Listen. Female genital mutilation.
What does it say, Bob?
In Al-Tamid 2160 and in Al-Mughni 163. It says in the fatwa of Al-Lajna Al-Da'ima. Forgive me for those who are Arabic speakers, I'm not a native speaker. Listen. Thus it is clear that the fuqaha of Islam are agreed that circumcision is prescribed for both males and females. So female is halal in Islam.
Thank you.
There's your evidence.
Thank you. Thank you. See the source.
I want the source.
It's reference. It's the reference is there.
Reference it right there.
This is the reference here.
You can deny it, but we've referenced it.
This is the reference.
Yeah.
You
This is
have
the reference
literally
here.
no power to reference.
These are Muslims writing about female genital mutilation.
Muslims are writing this. Muslims are.
This is a Muslim source.
That female.
This is a Muslim source. This is a Muslim source. There were juries before Islam. There were juries before Islam.
English said.
There are juries before Islam. Guys, stop shouting. Stop shouting. Let the lady speak.
Translate that yourself.
Let the lady speak.
The picture that you.
No Muslim
It's a
translation.
fatwa.
Yeah, any
It's a
Muslim
fatwa by a Muslim. With the reference is there.
But I'll still
Look,
be 10 times wrong.
madam,
That's
the
my
reference
point.
is there. The reference is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who referenced it?
Look.
No.
Muslim.
I want.
It's in.
Yeah, my father is a Muslim.
It's
but he
in.
can't translate.
Yeah.
Think
Madam,
about it.
madam,
Not everyone can
madam.
translate.
We've provided our evidence. You can dismiss it if you want to. So have you got? Madam, stop shouting in the lady's ear. Everybody, stop shouting in the
question
lady's
is really
ear.
clear.
Let her speak. Go
I
on.
don't give a damn that he's Muslim. My question was, who translated it? My
Okay.
dad can translate it, but he will be 10 times wrong. And not anyone can
I'm
translate the
sure
Quran.
it is
All right,
translated
no
by
need
a
to shout.
Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
but doesn't mean that's
Translated by
good.
Madam, all that required.
I can ask him
Madam,
to translate
madam,
and he will be Muslim
you're
tomorrow.
madam,
Is it good?
madam, you're offended by the evidence.
No, I'm not defended. I mean, you
You're
did not
offended
answer my
by
question.
the evidence.
I'm not,
You're offended by the evidence.
Listen,
People can research it themselves.
No.
Whether Islamic jurists have said that female genital mutilation is halal, and they will discover that they have.
You have a screenshot of a weird of a picture. You could have translated and you could say, yeah, Muslim one did it, translated. Answer my question for the 10th.
Sorry, have you got any evidence to your claim that Western law is built on Islam?
No.
It's all right,
Now you have been pushing something in my face and saying, oh, it's halal too. That's the circumcision for females. It's not halal at all. So instead of making
some-
my point
to
and
some
showing
Muslims,
me
it clearly
some
is.
facts, show me where you got the facts from.
So here it is.
Let's read.
Wow,
the
Twitter.
Other.
Mashallah, Twitter. We're going to use Twitter now as our facts?
Let's see.
Let's use Wikipedia as well.
Okay, I wouldn't use that as an
what is
evidence,
this?
Uncle. I wouldn't use that as an evidence. It's just a Twitter screenshot.
You've been
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Muslim lady.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
This
but-
is Muslim lady
But-
and well-known lady.
Yeah.
Well-known.
yeah.
She is well-known. She is
Madam.
Muslim.
Madam.
Well-known lady.
Madam.
And she
But
is
the-
saying.
Yeah, but that's
She is saying.
madam. Are you wanting to come with your evidence?
My question, I've asked it you
Okay.
like 10th time. Who translated? You can tell me.
What can you find a better translation?
Yes, sure.
Go on then, please.
Forget that.
Okay. So the point is, let's just while you're finding your evidence, let's just go through from the beginning what the lady's claim was for everyone. I want to catch
No,
everyone
don't
up who's come
you're
late.
changing like
No.
every
You're
20 minutes.
finding your evidence.
I will make
So
this last
the
one
lady
with-
made the claim. I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Doesn't matter.
The lady made the claim.
Go ahead,
Right.
can
So, have you found your evidence?
No, but let me
Go on.
listen. Okay.
Go on, speak.
Here is another one.
Go on.
لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا رب اهدنا الصبر.
Yeah. Western law does not
Okay.
come from Sharia law.
Your translations, there's a very big problem with me, and it's not because of the circumcision part. My problem with it, and there's a very important part that happens a lot and is mistaken a lot, is your translation is wrong.
Okay. Right. So,
When you get it, no, you can show me all those stupid dumb pictures, but you have no source.
Islamic sources are stupid and dumb. We totally agree. Islamic sources are stupid and dumb. We totally agree.
Excuse me for my language, but I'm telling you.
Who's that?
Yeah, I
Imam
can write
who?
down
Who's that?
But it is not your source.
Who's that? Bukhari.
This
Imam
is not
Bukhari.
your source.
Imam Bukhari.
Yeah.
Bukhari.
I think your sources are.
Imam Bukhari, 1245.
He is dumb.
Imam Bukhari, 1245. An old woman from Kufa, the grandmother of Ali Burak, reported that al-Mujha said, I was captured with some girls from Byzantium. Uthman offered us Islam, but only myself and one other girl accepted Islam. Praise be to those that rejected and stayed faithful to Christ. Uthman said, go and circumcise them and purify them. That is speaking of women. That's female genital mutilation in the Hadith. In Imam Bukhari, Sahih Bukhari. So, female genital mutilation is permissible in Islam.
Sharia law. In Sharia law.
Okay, what's your name?
And here you can call me Bob.
Bob?
Here you can call me Bob.
Okay, this is how you are treating my religion, okay?
Okay.
And I want you to
No,
understand.
your religion is treating you.
Let her speak. Let her speak.
He is not doing.
Let her speak.
He is not.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's
He's
okay.
reading.
It's okay. Let her
Sir,
speak.
let me very, very
Your
clear.
religion is speaking to you.
Miss.
He's not
When
doing.
you talk,
Miss.
when you talk, I will talk.
Miss.
No, wait a second. This is the last time you interview.
What?
No.
Keep talking through me.
Why you are blaming him?
Okay, when you
Why
talk,
you
I
are
will talk.
Did I blame you?
Whereas
This place is an
your
agitated
sources
place. Be
are-
calm, be calm, be calm.
Why don't you stop him? Why don't you stop him?
It's okay, uncle,
No, I will talk.
I know.
Why she is blaming you?
It doesn't matter.
Did I blame
Let her
you?
speak.
Did I
Let her
blame
speak.
you?
Please, let her speak. Let her
Did I
speak.
blame you?
Let her speak.
No, he
Let
talk.
her-
I will
No,
talk
no,
when you talk.
let's-
I will talk.
Let her speak.
Him.
Let her speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Go on.
If not, we won't get anywhere.
Listen,
Right.
if you keep screaming in my ear, I swear to God,
Don't
I will
speak to him,
walk
don't
away,
speak to
okay?
him.
Let's
Okay.
have respect in this conversation for
Please.
each other, okay? Thank you very much.
That includes
Sir,
the guy
can
that's
you
just
understand?
said, hold on one second. He's just said, let's smack him across the face.
No.
That's what he just said. Oh, we'll smack him across the face.
Listen.
We will talk.
No.
Because he talk, we will
Respect
talk.
means
Yeah.
respect,
and I
guys.
respect you.
Yeah, all right, little fud boy. All right, little fud boy. Threatening an old man. Look at you, you clown. Look at you, you clown.
Why you throwing claims?
Go on.
Listen, don't worry, I'm not mad or anything. Okay, I want to state one thing because everyone keeps interpreting
Yes.
and then I'll be leaving because I'll get your point, whatever you'll ask, okay?
That's fair enough, yeah.
One last thing.
Go on.
Your name was Bob, right?
That's the name I use
I will
here,
make
yeah.
a good example of how you treat my religion, okay?
Go on.
I will, let's say, I will have here...
Yeah, let the lady speak, man.
Let's say I have a source here, a screenshot,
Yeah.
like you do.
Yeah.
I'll write down your name and
Yep.
say, yeah, Christianity is the most dumbest thing ever. And
Yeah.
okay, let's say an example, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Huh?
Like when the Quran says Christians are the worst of creatures.
Yeah,
Let's use that as
because
an
you
example.
tend
say
to
it.
apparently have the
You can
source.
say it.
But
Yeah.
every time I ask you for your source, you show me a weird ass screenshot. So
Do you want me to show you in the Quran?
I'm not finished with my point yet, sir.
Yeah.
Can you finish me?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, thank
You
you very
haven't
much.
shown us how is it Western
And if you
law
let me talk
comes
and
from
not stop,
Sharia
and
law.
if you stop talking,
Yeah, we know.
then
We
I'll
know.
start to
Okay,
finish.
sorry. Let her speak. Let her finish her point.
Your sources are weak. And for us in religion, any translation you have, it's very important to know where your translation is from.
Okay.
In Hadith as
Yep.
well, even what we call is something called the weak Hadith. we are supposed to follow the strongest one.
Yeah.
And how do we know when it's the strongest one? When all our facts are being checked upon and are 100% clear, then we know it's a strong hadith.
Yeah.
In Qur'an as well, when we are trying to translate, what is not recommended? To know an English translation.
Yeah.
It's not preferred. You can use the Arabic translation, but you have to go to a sheikh that is familiar and has studied the Quran to then give you the translation.
Okay.
You've been showing me 3 screenshots or 2 screenshots with someone's name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can write your name on something and tell you that's the same screenshot
Okay.
and it's proven.
So he is not.
But you keep showing me this and you keep telling me and keep even defining with some bad words about my religion and then telling me, yeah, that's how my religion is. Well, I keep telling you that it's not how religion
Okay.
is. No. I have not finished yet.
Yeah, okay.
Then stop talking, please. Again, everything when we study upon is, there is the differences, but that's about because men are imperfect and we continuously make mistakes like you do.
Yeah.
Because we are all human to do and make those mistakes.
Yeah.
It's very important to know in all those cases that when you want to know a fact that you should go to the right sheikh and the right person to understand and get this information from. I can give you those sources and I can tell you for sure that those are very verified people.
Okay.
But you should not give me a screenshot and tell me that's a fact and scream in my ear with all the disrespect and tell me, is halal. That's the most biggest nonsense in the whole world.
It's okay.
Sir, I cannot
Next Sunday,
repeat my-
bring your sheikh here.
No, it's okay. Let us speak. Let us speak.
Next Sunday, bring your
We're
sheikh
all on the
here,
same side, guys.
So we will
We
talk
all
to
agree
him.
the lady should be allowed to
Talk
speak.
to him.
We're all agreed. This is
Second
Christian
point.
chivalry.
Well done, well
Let
done.
the lady speak.
Finish it. I'm not finished.
More
Second
manners that the Muslims show to the Christian women in the park.
Besides, you can tell me 20 different things about religion and tell me, that is a fact.
Yeah.
But I've continuously asked you, what's your source?
Yeah.
You've just written down someone's
the
imam's
subject.
name and you have
Sahih
even...
Bukhari is not a source.
Let her speak, uncle. Go on.
This is how many
It's a source,
times?
sir. It's a source, and it's a good question to make. But I can write everyone's name and I can write your
Don't
name
get
and
off your
tell you
point.
it's your
Don't get
not
off your
very
point.
good for
Don't get off
you.
your point.
And my point is very clear. You
Yeah.
can scream in my ear like everyone here did and tell me female genitalia is haram, people are ignorant in the deen, but I can tell you and I can with all my verified heart I can tell you, ignorance and arrogance.
Yeah.
If you are like that, we call it having a stone heart, which means that you are very separated from your deen.
Okay. Yeah.
And that happens, right?
Yeah.
And materialistic things separates you every time from your deen.
Yeah.
That's why this dunya, with all the imperfect people, which makes it so amazing, is a big ass test. It's to test you if you can still stay with your deen, give the money to people who are needed,
Stop
and
interrupting.
especially to people who are not Muslim. It states in the Quran that even when you are... When
It's
you
okay
are
when he
stable-
does it.
No,
It's okay when
too
he does
much,
it.
and I think it's ironical. That's why. You have zakat. You said it's important, and it's because Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says so. Why do you think He says something like that? Just for fun? It's like, oh, we have to take 2.5% for people's money just for fun? No, of course not. It's because it's not your money. It's money you've earned. You have to give it away to people who
Yeah.
are also in need.
Yeah.
And then you have something called sadaqah. Sadaqah is even preferred when people who are. I'm not done with
Okay,
it.
madam.
I'm not done
No. Hold on one second. Let's have a conversation.
I will finish my sentence and then you'll start
Okay,
to
go
ask
on.
your question
Go on,
because you're
finish. Go
continuously
on,
interrupting
finish your
me.
sentence.
And it's very disrespectful at some point.
Well, you know,
Yeah, but that's how it works.
it is how it works here.
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. Go on.
Again, sadaqah and everything you said, we should not prioritize people who are Muslim. Well, actually, we should respect Muslims and
I
people who
didn't
are
say
not
that.
Muslim. Wait, I'm not finished what I
Sorry, I
meant.
didn't say that.
My point was, you said that we disrespect Christians and Christian people. I'm sorry for my
Yeah.
language. But most in the contrary, actually, we should respect every deen. Yeah, lakum dinukum waliya din. I have my own religion, you have your own religion.
Yep.
Yes, that's very true.
Yep.
But it never meant that we should not respect any one of them.
So allow me to reply. You said you were going to finish a sentence, and
Yeah,
not
and
another
my sentence
paragraph,
is just
right?
not
So
finished.
so
I'm
no, hold on
sorry,
one second.
it
No.
doesn't-
We're not.
I'm kept on talking to the camera and show me
So,
fake sources.
because hold on one second. You were saying that you have made a claim. No, you've made a claim.
I am gonna make
that
this last statement.
No.
If
But
you
that your
stop-
statement is just going on to another
Try to
statement
listen
and
now.
another statement.
I am not done
Madam,
talking.
no, I'm sorry, madam,
I'm not
but
done
you're,
talking.
but
You
but
don't
the
talk
thing is,
continuously.
sorry,
Listen,
madam,
lady.
the thing is, in a conversation,
Try to listen.
in a conversation,
Sir.
in a conversation, it is a two-way
I
thing.
know, but this is
the
now
thing
not
is,
a conversation
no,
anymore.
one second.
It's
No,
not-
it's
no.
not a conversation.
If you keep on
Is it your
interrupting me, it's not a
monologue?
conversation
Is it not? Is it a
anymore.
monologue?
Well, you kept starting to talk and
Why?
screaming out
Why?
the
Because
Madam,
facts that are not facts.
you made a claim.
And you dropped in
You made a claim.
You're
You made a
being-
claim
you're being
You don't want her to finish.
that was
Is that right?
factually false.
No, it's not factually
It is factually false,
You
and you have
are
provided
false.
zero
False.
evidence.
You tell
Zero evidence to
I can
all of
give
your
you
claims.
sources.
Can you show me?
The Qur'an.
Show
It's
me.
not a good one if you get it from them. You cannot.
I got it from Saudi Arabia. Like,
You are not
the thing is, madam, you're not finishing a point. You're just going from point to point to point to point to point.
That's how this whole
Right.
conversation you're
So-
trying to assume to me that it's been going.
Exactly.
You've
You-
continued
you've got-
every 2
yes.
minutes, have been
You've
stating
got
every
to-
time a new fact, and then I should be responding, and then you'll say,
But
"Well,
you haven't
we should have
responded to any. You haven't. You made a thesis.
Exactly.
Your
Not a
thesis was that Western law was built on Islamic law,
So
and I
what
asked
else?
you for evidence, and you have provided zero evidence to this claim.
I actually
And I have demonstrated through examples in history that Europe has its own tradition of law. Now that is not a factually disputable claim.
500
It
years
is a.
you were
It is
not
a.
even
It is.
language.
It is.
You haven't got a language.
Apparently, for 500 years ago, we didn't even have a language here. Arrogance and ignorance
500 years.
underpin these
Where-
kinds of
where was-
statements.
where was
What
the-
language was Shakespeare speaking 500 years ago?
Where-
My gosh!
Where did he learn?
These are the kinds of arrogant,
Come on.
ignorant statements
You
that are
talk
being
about
made
500
in the park.
When did he born?
Because amongst all too many Muslims in the park, there is a supremacist mindset that Islam is superior.
And where is the bad thing?
And the reality is that we have our own traditions of law in the West. And Muslims are voting with their feet. It isn't that there's mass migration to Saudi Arabia. The Afghans didn't run to Saudi Arabia. They ran to the West. Because Western law is better than Sharia law. And the facts demonstrate that. The facts demonstrate that.
Where it comes from?
If we can we do it time? Yeah. I'm happy to talk with you, but if you're just going to do a long monologue, then I have to interrupt you.
I don't speak English very well.
Okay,
Now
sir.
notice how they interrupted, and you were totally fine with them
That's
interrupting.
him. That's him interrupted.
I am.
Did I call him out on it?
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
told
did.
you.
I
told
did.
you to stop him
I
and you
did.
didn't.
I did. It's on camera.
I told
It's on
you.
camera.
I told you stop
It's on
him,
camera.
and you didn't. But I'm waiting for you. As soon
But
as you
did you
talk,
call out
I
this
will
little
talk.
punk when he threatened to
As soon
punch
as-
an old man?
As soon as you talk,
When he
I
threatened
will
to
talk.
punch an old man?
No way.
Where was your justice then?
Because he was
When little
speaking.
wannabe
You
jihadi
wasn't
threatened to punch an
You
old
wasn't
man?
speaking.
Based on
As soon as you
Sharia
talk, I will talk because you didn't stop him.
Oh, now he's quiet. Now he's quiet.
I will be quiet
It's
when
called
she
being
talk.
polite, sir. If you ask and don't scream in someone's ear like you just now do, then you get someone.
I gotta raise my voice if people
You
aren't
don't
having a
raise your
conversation.
voice?
I just did, yeah, I raised my
Yeah,
voice.
exactly. And
Yeah.
not only raise your voice, you've been even cursing out people and saying they're jihadis. Is that respectful?
He threatened to punch an old man, is that all right?
And did I-
Are you defending a
never.
man that threatened to punch an
I
old man?
never.
He threatened to punch an old man. That's what he did. And he's just said it again. He's just said it again.
Can I talk?
But have you not got a problem with that?
Can I talk?
Have you not got a problem with
Where is
that?
the old man? Where is the old man?
Talk to him.
And who's the old man?
Yeah.
Where is the old man? This is the devil. It's not the old man. This is the devil.
أحلى حاجة في الموضوع صدقني
And devil have become a Muslim according to Muhammad.
Western law is based on Sharia law.
Is a lie.
Hilarious.
Western law is based on the Enlightenment, which emerged out of a Christian paradigm. That's the reality of our civilization. And people that claim, as this lady has, that Sharia law is the root of Western law, and he's saying yes, on making a claim based out of arrogance and ignorance.
They don't know how to
People in the West need to rediscover their own history. Because if you don't learn your history, others will kidnap your history for you.
What university was in England? The first university. Tell me. Tell me.
أنا هتكلم.
The first
Go on.
university was
Go on.
in Greece.
Okay, sir. Before you start screaming again and telling me that we are not interpreting it, this is the worst conversation going on. Say about these and everything, but you keep on screaming, oh, different or very different.
But you've provided no evidence.
I told you my evidence in the beginning.
What evidence? You said that your lecturer said this, but then I said, what evidence does your lecturer give you? And then you gave exactly no examples. None.
Here's why. Here's why.
Here's why. So I wasn't lying.
No.
Go on.
Because you kept on screaming 20 different points. If you want to have a conversation...
You were looking at it and you couldn't find it.
I'm talking.
Go on.
Don't you see those lips moving? That means I'm talking.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't spray it to me, okay?
The time of Jesus Christ was no Britain in that time.
One thing is very important. Your sources are weak.
That's got nothing to do with the question.
Those are very
You
much to do
you
with
have made the
Sahih
claim
Bukhari is a weak.
that you have made the claim. You have made the claim that Western law is built on Sharia law, but you've provided no evidence.
Because when I did,
Wait,
you started to scream something different, and that's
Well,
why
get it out. Get it out.
I already got it out, but then I returned it because you are way too ignorant.
You know what the reality is? You don't have any
I
evidence.
actually do, and I have.
Right,
here
go
an
on then.
article.
What is the evidence?
Here.
What's the evidence?
Let her show us the evidence. Go on.
Here's one of the articles that I meant by it.
Okay, right?
It's a research that was done in the Netherlands University showed. I did that by Dr.
Yeah.
Baker, Dr. Jingring, and Famouk.
Yeah.
All Dutch researchers, Dutch, not Muslim, Dutch researchers that even point out those points.
So what's the evidence?
Are they better than
What's the evidence?
Bukhari?
What's the evidence?
Are they better than Bukhari?
That's a fair question.
Are they better than Bukhari?
Let me answer your question. If you want to say
Those doctors are better than Bukhari. Are you saying
Wait
this?
for him until he talks.
There's two conversations going on here.
yeah,
The first conversation is whether Western law is built on Islamic law, to which we have still not seen any evidence at all.
what did I just tell you?
The second conversation that's going on here is Western law superior to Islamic
And I
law,
am a doctor
for
of
which we
engineering,
have
okay?
seen evidence. We've seen evidence that Western law is distinct from Islamic law, and we've seen evidence that Western law is superior to Islamic law, but we have seen zero evidence, not a word of evidence showing that Western law is built on Sharia law.
I literally just showed you.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You just quoted. You just gave 3 names of doctors.
No, not even.
What's the
Literally
paper?
The whole
What's
article.
what's the article?
Here's the whole
Right.
paper.
So here it is. The article is not entitled. So you hold the phone if you want to.
Yeah.
The article is titled Sharia law in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
All right. Does that state that Western law is built on Sharia?
Yes.
Go, show me. Show us.
Show us the paragraph.
Show us the evidence.
And he's
Not
wrong.
a statement or a belief, but the evidence. The evidence. Not a statement of belief, evidence.
Give her a chance. Give her a chance.
That the
All right.
laws that
Wait,
Plato and
she's looking.
Socrates brought forward.
Where
Yeah.
he get it from.
I gave him the sources.
The
She
number,
didn't.
1, 2,
You made a
3,
claim.
4. Where he get it from?
You made a
What do you
claim.
mean?
Who created 1, 2, 3,
Oh, this
4?
article.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave him the names. He already seen it.
But
Instead of what he did, he just called
all
out
you've
some
done is quote the title of an article,
I'm still getting to
the
the
name of
point.
some doctors, but you've given zero evidence.
Sharia is an abstract concept for which we found a description of proper is claimed behavior.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Closely captured, most respondent understanding.
Yep.
Many Muslims in the Netherlands hardly reflect on the correct and inconsistencies because we are imperfect people. Okay?
Okay.
I'm very thirsty, but okay. When we what? I'm learning out loud, sir.
It's all right. You're doing well, by the way. You're doing well.
Thanks.
Is this your first time in Speaker's Corner?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm actually. That's
It's a heated environment. Carry on. Go on. Let you get your evidence.
Quality conversation, but okay.
Let you get to your evidence.
Wait, this is talking something different. Sorry.
Okay.
There is no. There is no point trying. There is no.
Wait. It's here.
Just, you know.
What?
Combination of
Go on.
3 aspects is quite possible
Maybe
and
Ali
likely
has.
occurs when often are
Come, Ali.
application in single aspect.
Alpha.
Perhaps another aspect of Islam indicate that they Prefer to settle in.
Ali, come here.
Go
Come
on,
and help.
madam, let me hold my microphone
No, don't
to
worry
your
about
mouth so that we capture your voice. Go on.
No, thanks. Please don't.
Fair enough. Just wanted to make sure you were heard.
No, it doesn't matter for them actually. The removal of numerous parties are within the process,
Yeah.
and even after this World War II, when the laws were very weak, they used upon the rules upon Sharia too.
That's a statement. Where's the evidence?
Are you blind?
No, that's just a statement.
Nah, that's how you work.
Yeah,
with
that's
your
an
facts.
opinion.
No.
No.
This is an actual article.
An opinion
No,
of
no,
an
no.
article is not
This
a
is not
fact.
how this conversation works. You don't show weird ass dumbass screenshots and tell me that's a fact, and then when I tell you an actual
Madam.
article and then show me that's a fact, that's not a
But,
fact.
but this is a flawed
Does that
logic.
mean I'm right on everything?
Yeah, I can write an essay, miss. Madam, I can, madam, when I was at university, right, as an undergraduate, of course, I wrote many an essay. This is an essay of scholars. All
That's
that
not an
is,
essay,
all that
actually.
it,
This is actual
it's just an article of scholars. It doesn't prove it. If I make a statement, the statement is not a fact just because I put it in an article. But that's your logic. You're essentially saying, because of the opinion of some scholars.
Ali.
So,
I will say something because I have
Ali came to rescue you. Ali came to rescue you. Ali came to rescue
At least she was brave.
madam, I heard you speaking Arabic. When you were speaking
to
Arabic,
rescue.
are you an Arabic
say no.
speaker?
Yeah, but I will say
Ali is here to rescue.
No.
She was brave.
Ali. So when I come and interrupt your conversations, you won't be complaining, will you?
I will say one thing
So-
and then leave, okay, because I have a flight.
Okay, I'd like to give you a gift for your flight.
No, I don't.
You don't want the gift. You don't want the gift.
No, I don't actually.
Fair
want
enough.
anything.
Okay. Yeah.
Sir, I will say one thing.
Go on.
If you want to know the facts,
Yeah.
give me right sources first of all. Don't make statements. If I gave you, no. If I gave you a peer-reviewed article, if
You
I
have
gave you a peer, no, wait a second. I will make my final statement, sir.
Yeah.
If I gave you a peer-reviewed articles done by not 1, 3, but it's like 6 doctors.
They're opinions.
Opinions.
They are.
Your life is an opinion, I guess.
That's just an opinion.
Sir, we're ending up.
That's just an opinion.
Nah. Your life.
That's just an opinion. So what we saw, ladies and gentlemen, what did we see?
Don't run Muslims.
We saw arrogance and ignorance on display.
Muslims come
The
here.
arrogance and the ignorance combined has actually led someone to make the preposterous claim that European law is based upon Sharia law. That Napoleon went to Egypt, took Sharia law back to Europe and spread it around Europe. This demonstrates a fundamental ignorance and arrogance of some Muslim commentators. And what is it based on? It's based upon the opinions of some academics from the Netherlands. As if every European is suddenly ignorant of our own history. As if every European is suddenly ignorant of our own legal tradition. English legal tradition was built upon the idea of common law instituted by Alfred the Great, who was inspired by the Bible in the writing of his laws. European law, up to the time of the Enlightenment, was equally inspired by the Christian faith. At the Enlightenment, there was a rupture in our legal history. A rupture that redefined the way that the citizen, a new invention, related to the state in the French Republic, and those ideas were pressed around Europe from the time of Napoleon forward. Islamic law and Christian law are very different. Let me give you some examples. In Christian law, adoption is a legal entity. And we Christians are proud of that. It gives dignity to orphans. In Islam, adoption does not exist. It means that children do not receive the dignity of being received into a family other than as someone who's been taken care of by a caretaker. In Christian law, men and women are equal in marriage. One man, one woman.
Right.
But in Islamic law, one man can marry up to 4 women. That means that there is an unfairness to women in Islamic law that Christian law does not fall into.
Right.
In Christian law, there is the idea that the church and the state operate as separate entities.
Right.
That Christians operate in the secular world and Christians operate in the religious world. This is the fundamental principle of every Western constitution, from America to Poland to Russia. Why?
Why?
Because of the Christian basis of our understanding of law.
Right.
It was a new invention that entered into Europe, changing the format of Roman law. This distinction does not exist in Islamic law.
Nothing.
In Islamic law, I, as a Christian, would be treated as a second-class citizen in Sharia law.
That mean, Bob?
It would mean that if I was killed, the blood money paid to my family would be half that of the blood money paid if I was killed as a Muslim. It means that as a Christian, I would not be fully able to practice my faith under Sharia law. Western media and Western politicians and Western celebrities are virtue signaling to us when they say that all religions teach the same and that all religions act the same.
Lie.
The reality is that is a lie. If you don't believe me, go and look at the government, Her Majesty's government website about the laws in Saudi Arabia, and you will see the witness of your own government telling you that Christians do not have equal rights in an Islamic society. In Islam, there are sources that show that female genital mutilation is halal. We read it here in this debate. In the Christian faith, all genital mutilation of children is done away with. There are real differences to your society that are the fruit of the religion that you follow. And it is time that we in the West rediscover our confidence, our conviction, and our commitment to our own tradition and our own Christian worldview. Not just for the good of our lands, but for the good of the Muslim lands as well. Because Saudi Arabia would be better served, and the Arabian people would be better served by laws built on the Christian tradition than under Sharia law.
Right.
Reclaim your confidence, reclaim your conviction, learn your history. Because if you don't, like you saw with that young lady, they will try to rewrite your history if you don't know your history. Any questions?
Any questions?
This Jewish and maybe he know and he don't like
No.
he don't believe. He know what's happened and
Who?
Jewish maybe or
Now somehow, from my conversation, this brother said somehow the Jews don't know their law. I don't know why we're talking about the Jews. It's got nothing to do with this conversation.
But the lady,
Yeah.
she proved that. I really felt sorry for her. In one way, I admire her, but at the same time, I felt sorry. She proved that what you were saying, that ignorance and also arrogance.
Yeah.
She said that she was going to provide evidence, but she didn't have none.
Yeah, she didn't. She did fail. So let me just bounce off what this brother's saying, because the lady in question was convinced by a piece of propaganda. Now I don't know why the propaganda was written, but what I do know is that all she did was quote the opinion of a scholar. So what? Opinions don't equal facts. And this is why I say always that we in the West, and particularly Christians, we must contend for the narrative, because there are enemies of our civilization. There are enemies of the church who are propagating their propaganda to diminish us, to weaken our solidarity, to weaken our identity. And if we are not fighting the intellectual battle, we will lose the culture war.
Right.
By contrast, Uncle Asif, a man full of passion and fire, was able to demonstrate from Sahih al-Bukhari, a mainstream Islamic source, that according to Muslims in the past, that female genital mutilation is halal. And what was the woman's reply?
What did she say?
When I quote my screenshot, you should accept it. But if you quote your screenshot, I shall reject it. Any other questions on the topic? Not a question. Any question on the topic?
Any questions on the topic?
Okay. Lady, go on, what's the question? On the topic.
What was the topic?
Yeah.
Something about Detroit.
It's about Ukraine.
No, we're talking about the fact that a Muslim made a claim.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
No, he doesn't want to do that.
Related one. I mean,
On the topic, yeah.
well, in terms of authority, I mean, I think there's a problem with, let's just say, COVID in general. I think the trust in the science is very similar, it seems to me. What do you think?
Well, what we see regularly in the park is a difference in the educational systems between West and East. In Western educational systems, we are taught how to think and how to analyze. One of the flaws of Eastern educational systems is that they are taught to repeat and not to question. And we see that again and again and again in the park by the da'i, the Muslim evangelists, who simply repeat what people like Zakir Naik say. And they've never stopped to check if what they have heard is actually true. And they rely on the fact that the person that they're repeating it to has never checked it themselves. We need to rediscover credibility and confidence in our own culture, which means that we actually check the claims that are being made about our civilization. And we check the claims that are being made about Islamic civilization. Because we will see time and time again the da'i in the park are lying. They are lying about history, they're lying about the Bible, and they're lying about the Christian faith. And you can simply check that by speaking to knowledgeable Christians and picking up a Bible yourself. Go on.
Do you know why the war between Athens and Sparta started?
No, I don't.
Because the jury system on the court should have been paid, and Sparta said no, that the jury system should be a voluntary system. Therefore, the idea of the jury, which were 10 men sitting in courts and making the judgment, was already well before Islam, i.e. in ancient Greece.
And I just want to point out why Michael is raising that point.
Why, Bob?
Because the only evidence that was produced by the Muslims in this discussion was simply yet another unsubstantiated claim. The claim that the West got the jury system from Islam. That's a total lie. The pagans of Greece, before the foundations of the church, were practicing the jury system. And we've seen this narrative again and again by Muslims. They claim that we in the West adopted Islam during the Renaissance, that it came from Islam, and that we took the Enlightenment from Islam. The reality is, our civilization has its own history. And the Western progressive culture has made you ignorant of your own history. It has made you ignorant of your own traditions, your own culture. And we've all developed a culture in the West where we feel embarrassed by the idea of learning about our own culture and our own identity. It's time we throw off such shame and we rediscover a pride in our Judeo-Christian roots.
Right.
Any other questions on the topic?
On topic code.
Do you think that there's a complicity within ourselves to take on the narrative of post-colonial guilt and that it's okay, it's not okay, but it's cultural appropriation if one, I don't know, wears a Chinese dress, but we don't mind denigrating our own culture to the point of non-existence?
Yes, so it's a perfect question, a great question. The great question that Kay asks is, in the West, are we being indoctrinated to be ashamed of ourselves? And we are complicit because we simply accept the narrative given to us by our government and by the media and by the celebrities who are telling us in their little village that we should be ashamed of ourselves, that we should be ashamed of our Christian heritage. These cultural Marxist narratives are corrosive and destructive to our ability to stand against Islamization. Islamization is seeking to fill the void created by progressive ideology. And what is the best response to Islamization and the corrosive effects of liberal progressive thought? It is to rediscover a muscular Christian faith, a confident identity in Christ that has not been seen in Europe since medieval times. And we need to rediscover a medieval spirituality and live it out in the modern world, confident in our identity and expressing it in politics, in culture, in economy, in society's traditions. Go on, Mr. Thug wants to ask a question.
Go on, Thuggy.
Go on, Thuggy. Come here, Thuggy.
I remember one thing. You mentioned about Zakir Naik.
Yeah.
Once I heard Mr. Zakir Naik saying that Huris does not have a male and female.
Yeah.
They can be anything.
Yeah.
They can be anything, male and female. But whereas Islamic sources, they say that Huris are female.
Yeah.
But scholar is saying that Huris have no gender.
Well, what we find again and again when we talk to Muslims in the park, the conversation goes like this. Christians make a claim. Muslims say you're lying. Christians provide the evidence, Muslims then defend the evidence that they're saying we were lying about. And that's how the conversations go again and again and again.
All the time.
All the time.
I have noticed one thing recently, you know.
So one example is that the Qur'an states that Christians and Jews are the worst of creatures. And the Muslim lady denied it. But that's what the Quran actually says.
Yeah, recently I noticed
Go on.
that, yeah. You know, when
Let him speak and then you...
when they talk in real Christian, you know, like someone who knows the scripture,
Yeah,
they ask you what is the proof,
yeah,
you know. I mean, when you take, because they start to know, I think, the truth,
Yeah.
but they don't want to embrace it.
Yeah.
So now they say that, what is the proof? How can I believe it? They
Yeah.
say that. What's the answer from you? Because
Well-
I find that recently like that.
the thing is, and I think it's important for people to recognize, English people particularly assume that everybody wants to be fair. We have this disposition to assume fairness on the part of our opponent. But the reality is, the ones, the da'i in this park, are not interested in a fair dialogue. What they're interested in is victory. They're interested in promoting Islam, and they're willing to lie to do it. And when we expose them on the lie, when we demonstrate the evidence, when they lie about the Christian faith, as they do to a man in this park, when we demonstrate that they're lying about what Christians believe, their answer is to, their minds just pop, because they're not able to deal with what Christians actually believe, and they'd much rather attack a straw man.
The simple example is,
There's multiple examples, bro. One example is that the Bible has been changed. It's a lie. Another example is that Christians believe in three gods. That's a lie. They say that we Christians believe God changed at the incarnation. That's a lie. They say that we Christians think that having sex with all and sundry is acceptable to our faith. That's a lie. They say that we Christians think that it is that once you become a Christian, you can do any kind of immorality, and that's acceptable. That's a lie. They say that Muhammad is in the Bible. That's a lie. Again and again and again, the da'i are lying about the Christian faith. One second. The problem is that there are not enough Christians who know how to defend the Christian faith. And that is because of the failure of our Christian fellowships that are not teaching us how to defend our faith. Have you got a question? Go on. Is this a question?